Bang bang badang ding dang diggy diggy digging bang badang ding ding oh bang badang ding dang diggy diggy digging bang badang ding ding yes black to black 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 look, there's no need to worry and no need to fret. If you think we was finished, we ain't done yet. This is the platform where you can get informative topic with real intellect. Play talk good manners, raise the antennas. Andre and Karen as host divide. Facebook, Spotify and Instagram. You could also catch me on the YouTube live with positive content back to back. I'm inviting all people to black. Yes, no be power is black to black, and everybody invited. So share it and like it. For we all are united and black to black. Yes, no be power is black to black, and everybody invited. So share it and like it. For we all are united and black to black. Yes. This is your mortal immortal, inviting each and everyone to log on to all streaming platform to black with your host Andre and Karen. So subscribe, share, like and comment, and come along. Let me enjoy the vibes. Diggy diggy, diggy diggy, black to black, daga daga, black to black, black to black, black to black.
Greetings, black to black.
Blessed you all.
Welcome, black boy. So you know the things. We getting back some guests. We getting back some guests. So we have today with us the King Daron Jacobs. Right? Fella, I only this man bigger in person, boy. When I the man then the corner already get, I was like, wait, don't get me boy at all. You know what I mean? But that is good. So welcome to the show, my brother.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming.
Same here, you know.
This is something that a long time making, because every time we try to get somebody, they just flake now. But this time we stick it through, and I appreciate the fact that you take time out, because I know you're busy, to come and sit down with us and talk to the people about life insurance, planning, and that kind of thing, because, you know, it's in our community we usually hear the most amount of nonsense, right?
Yeah, very much so.
So the reason why we ask you to come is because we started to have a conversation on our page, where one of our followers would have made a statement, and you know, about life insurance being a scam, and you know, it's really only to benefit somebody else now. You know, and I asked myself, I say, but we really think Bhagwan Singh and the Sabgas and them and Bill Gates and these fellas don't have life insurance, right?
Is them who are the most?
Come on. Just yesterday I was watching a movie, I don't know if you ever see it, called Along Came Polly, with Ben Stiller and Jennifer Aniston, where he was an insurance. He used to rate people now. And one of his biggest clients is our base jumper. He likes to do it's called them thing skydiving. That's what mad people thing, right? And he wants insurance now, because obviously he wants to protect his legacy and thing. And I was like, that should just remind me why I went into this business in the first place. You know, so tell the people and them a little bit about yourself, and we will go from there.
All right. So again, my name is Daron Jacobs.
Right.
I've been in the insurance industry for like about 6 years. Right. This is my 6th year, 6 going on 7. Prior to that, I was an electrical engineer. Right. So
as I dread
we don't want to talk about our job. As an electrical engineer at the point, and I decided to do engineering for like about 10 years. Right. And I decided to make the switch from engineering to the insurance industry. Right. And coming into the insurance industry pre-COVID, I realized that when is your before you come into insurance, and I talk to people and I ask them, people who go buy from me and things, most of the time they don't buy from me.
Correct.
Most of the time they don't buy from me. So what I have to do, started to be a little creative in terms of sharing the information with new people and things. So what I did pre-COVID, I used to do plenty seminars, right?
All right.
So seminar selling was my thing. I used to go into a company, talk to the employees about retirement planning, pensions, life insurance, all these different things. So that kind of worked for me. And then when the lockdown happened, I made a decision that I was not going to exit the lockdown the same way I entered.
Straight.
Right? So I started to do a lot of market research. I realized that at the point in time, if it is trying to get insurance information, you either have to talk to an insurance agent or it's misinformation again from plenty of people, right? Because prior to coming into insurance, like I say again, as an electrical engineer, right? And I would say I'm a fairly educated kind of guy, right? And electrical not easy. Electrical are one of the hardest engineering disciplines, right?
Better believe that.
And you don't really know much about personal finance and insurance and all these things, and by the way, come and talk to you.
Right.
And it's only if it is an insurance agent, come and talk to you, get the information. So some agents had come and talk to me before, but I didn't really like the way how they put across the information to me.
Right.
And two, I wanted to get more information on my own that was Trinidad based, not information on the outside. Because you know, if it is a Google, do a simple Google search, all the information again with insurance is US based, right? I didn't really get much Trinidad. So during COVID, I decided to change that, and I started to create some content online, right? So I started off with TikTok because I realized everybody home, you're on your phone, you can't go nowhere and nothing to do. So I started to make content. Sometimes basic content, but content in such a way that is easy to understand. So anybody could watch my videos and understand. I'm talking no star high science, no star high maths. Anybody from whatever level could understand, and I'm breaking it down in such a way that you could apply this to your life, right? And since then, my page grew significantly through the period in time. And coming out of COVID, content is life. So I believe in constantly making videos. So most of the times now, people would see some of my videos and reach out to me, and they would look at plenty of videos that I've been posting for over the period of time, binge watch my stuff. So when they come to me now, they already have a certain level of understanding. Plenty of the myths and the misconceptions that they would have had that have been broken already. And they come in from a place of, all right, I understand X, Y, and Z. Help me apply this to my current situation with my wife, my husband, my family, whatever the case is, and let me put something in place. So that's my whole.
Something in that we was just saying there, the way that they do insurance outside of Trinidad and Tobago differs a lot in some things from the way that we do business here. Because I remember right here, me, you, Osvaldo, and somebody else was having a discussion about where you could use your life insurance for. And part of what we were saying at the time, why they could do it outside of Trinidad, couldn't be done here. But I think now it changed a little bit.
The whole life policy, I already see they're bringing it back, and the agents really starting back to push it now.
What are you talking about there? You're talking about like the making your own bank kind of thing. Right? But that is really based on because just now my designation is FSCP, right? So that means Financial Services Certified Professional. So that's basically like in simple matter degree in insurance. Right? So now majority of that is really based on the US market and different things like that. So some policies that they have available in the US, not available in Trinidad just because of markets, legislation one, market size two, and some policies tied to the S&P 500, which we don't really have access to, which is based on the S&P 500 is like where does buy stocks and bonds, index, right? Index funds and so because of our legislation and our laws in terms of accessing those things directly, we do have access to it. You know, so that's why certain things are applicable in the States, not applicable in Trinidad.
All right. Well, boy, what's a start? That is the question. So, the basis of the show, premise of the show, the original premise of the show, which was Orisha Lash's idea, is to really awaken the people now, boy. Right? Because a lot of us, not just sleeping partner, we in a chance, right? And life passing by, things happening, and then when events take place, we want to scramble.
Yep.
Right? So we did an episode on estate planning already.
Right.
On when we was on Gael with Kalana. Was very well received. And coming out of it, a lot of people was like, but I'm not already prepared.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? And we started to talk about things like this.
Mm-hmm.
Because a big part of it for us is that besides the fact that we done behind, right? And we didn't start where everybody else start. We have, I don't like to call it a handicap, but we have a handicap financially, right? And as a father for me, my goal really is that when I die, because let me don't act like it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
It going to happen, right? The children, my children, my wife must have the ability to grieve peacefully first and then carry on with life after that. I'm not leaving them in a hole, right? Because I have mortgage, I have other debts, credit card, whatever. And my goal is to wipe off them things, right? So that when I die, my children have not just a nest egg to start, but my wife don't have to go and necessarily take a next man. That must be her choice.
Her choice.
Yeah, not her need. Right? And I went back to thinking about when I used to sell and thing, and I was saying, I remember some of my clients would tell me some of the most absurd nonsense, boy. You have a will? No. Why a will for? If I do a will, I go dead. Right? Or you have life insurance? Nah, why leaving thing for them for? Them have to fight up just how I fight up.
Them have to fight up.
Yeah, and that used to really irk me. Still irk me today.
That one mashed me up the most. Because I was a young father myself. My biggest thought right now, with a 7-year-old child who will be 8 just now, is like, if I cap out today,
then what?
What boy? It have not anything for her, boy. The emotional part of it, well, if you want that pass at this age, no, I'm not thinking about. If I cap out today, boy, what really going on with this child that everybody who know me know is my life. What going on, boy? I'll tell you, right here in the shop, I talk that talk. You want to have insurance is scheme. I'm telling you, no.
And I had to pat him down.
I talk that talk. I talk that talk with partners. Then I come and see the light. But I still have friends that have the mindset now. They don't want to hear nothing about insurance now. But I think they're also tied into the fact that it's still in our psyche as African people. Some of the accomplishments we make, we still in awe that we make them because we didn't expect to make them, especially from our generation going forward. Or from the half generation before us to our generation, to the half generation after us and the ones coming up. There's certain advances, certain achievements that we made that we probably didn't expect to make. The work that we do, the businesses we start, that they reach a certain kind of way. That, we'd expect to reach this. So now your whole planning and thinking and everything had to change. So this is why we find that this topic, because when we do the estate planning, the woman that we had, between the three of us, some of the shit we hear. And I have to admit that, well, I don't know what care, but for myself, I was thinking some of them shit too. So now we sit down with a professional now. And I'm glad to boy. I'm glad it's a youth man.
That's any joke, right? Majority of people in the insurance industry is, well, the people who sucks, who really doing well is older fellas. Right? Oh, that's the reality of it. And I say to myself, when I come in this business, now my problem was I just look young now, right? That's me. When I had no, that was not that's a disadvantage at the beginning, right? At the beginning, I said look young. I just look young, right? And then my hair wasn't grow out to so high. No, I have a little beard and thing, but like because I'm now starting the business, I still I started the business as too polished, right? And I realized when I come in the business, they're telling me you have to wear a suit and tie and thing.
Which is garbage. But go ahead.
So I was like, when I come into these people now, they see me green on my face now. Right? And it's only after a little while, after already dealing with people and realizing I had things that were working for me and things that were not working for me. One are tall, exceedingly tall.
Right.
2 are black.
Yeah.
Right. 3, my voice a little deep.
Yeah.
And 4, if it doesn't have one also that could be intimidating.
Yeah.
Right. This big tall black fella coming to you also.
Yeah.
Nah, man. I ain't anything.
You ain't coming nothing good.
Nah. So I realized to myself, I was like, you know what? Let me kind of dumb it down a little bit. Let me bring it so people could relate.
Yeah.
And that kind of worked for me. And you see too, you make a statement there, right? You say, plenty. You're glad as a young fella, and you see from a young person's perspective, I have a unique kind of perspective in the sense of I could talk to people who are younger than me, I could talk to people who in my age bracket, and I could talk to people who are older, right? So I kind of understand where I stand in the business now. I educate myself so I could have serious conversations and people feel comfortable in dealing with me.
Right.
You make a next statement too. You say you hear plenty misinformation, right? And we as a people, we cannot start back, right? Because it's a financial handicap. I would say it's a mental handicap.
Right. Go ahead.
Right.
Go ahead.
The reason it's a mental handicap because other ethnicities in Trinidad, they believe in doing things for the next generation, right? They go here.
And sometimes they want after.
Sometimes they go hear people who, and it's a common story, you get people working in the market, doing this, working farm, whatever the case is, to put a child through university because that child wanted to be a doctor, whatever the case is. That parent doing all that they could do so that child could get an opportunity, right? A better start than they had. We as black people now, I reach where I reach, or let it figure it out.
Yeah.
Right? So
which is madness in itself.
Each generation starting back at 0. Right? I had a video I do the other day. I felt I was talking about creating generational wealth and like, boy, you know that's a nice hot topic right now.
Yeah.
We create generational wealth and I could be the one. But some people, when they talk about that generational wealth talk, that is essentially just getting out, buying a car, buying a house, and that is it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But when it is, you make a statement there, when it is, if it is you pass today, what's your daughter's situation, your daughter young, right? How she gonna fend for herself? You in this big age here now, if it is your parent that leave a life insurance policy for you, $1 million or $2 million, that doing a whole lot for you in this big age here now.
Yes.
That helping you create certain strategies for yourself and put things in place for your daughter. So your daughter now benefiting from their grandparent. And then now with that, they seeing that now, they will do the same. They'll continue tradition.
Correct. Because we do what we see.
You just do what you see.
Correct. And a lot of, well, that day is actually the biggest problem we have.
Yeah.
Because the generation before us, of course, they did what they could have with what they had.
Yeah.
Right? But I remember when I was going into insurance, I told my mother, I said, oh, man, I'm going to sell insurance now. My mother used to work maritime. She was in policy admin and thing, right?
Yeah.
25 years or so on work maritime for.
Yeah.
So when I come and I tell she that, and it's one of her understudies that was recruiting me,
right?
Actually, right?
Right.
And then his manager is my sister godmother,
right?
Which I didn't know until I reached the interview. Anyway,
right.
So it was a kind of family vibes now, and mommy was like, "Are you sure, boy? We see so much people go in our business and fail, boy. You sure that way want to do?" No, my mother know. 2 things she sure about with me. I not doing nothing halfway, and wherever I get into, trust and believe is the best of the best. I'm not going into it halfway.
Right.
Right? So when I went in, I start and thing, and then she was like, Karen, talk to Roger Forbes before you start. Because Roger know Martin. Right? Martin talk thing. He said, well, yeah, go and talk to him now before you start and thing. Don't do the interview yet. Go and sit down and talk to him, figure it out, whatever. Go through the whole relay. It went nice. And I joined the business. Right? And in talking to people, bro, I really realized that is the handicap there, the mental handicap. Because we don't have nothing we have a reference point.
Correct.
You understand? And that is where everybody just fail to understand the impact that not just slavery, but everything that happened afterwards slavery is how it is impact us, right? The East Indians, everybody's talk about the indentureship and blah, 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 but them come with culture.
They maintain their culture up to today. We don't have no culture.
Thank you.
The problem with that now, as I have realized, living a semi-cultural life, is that most African people, most of the people we know, do not know the value that your culture plays in your life.
I agree with that.
So, today, we have friends and family that when they see we dress like that, them see me in a dashiki and my big chain and thing, the wooden chain and thing I wear. Who you wearing that
Who you wearing that for?
Right? You wearing a African symbol on your clothes? I don't want that thing. But they take it at face value as that, and I point to an emphasis on that now. But we can't go to the East Indian community and tell them that now. In our neighborhoods, we see them. I mean, my daughter will be asking because she's seeing, she asking, Daddy, why the ladies be coming and picking them flowers every morning? Because that is part of the prayer ritual. To start the day. And she noticing, nearly every morning we passing, the lady outside picking that specific flower. That's part of your culture, it's a tradition. It's things you just do together. I always tell you about some neighbors I had in El Dorado. They had a big downstairs, family gathering every Sunday. I lived there 10 years, long enough to see the youth men and the young girls and them vex when they come. Plenty nice vehicle and thing pulling up on a Sunday like that. The place the family meeting. But I lived there long enough to see now them like if them organizing the same gathering and the same event. And these is the little things we do put emphasis on. Because when you, based on what you're doing now, go to a family gathering, nobody can come and talk shit like insurance is a scheme.
You're mad.
Because now you're there to educate
them. Yeah.
Correct.
Plus, you go at the time when your cousin, your brother, your sister, your aunt, one of them go call you separate to see a video to think. You give them information. Them now going and pass on the information. You know what we face with? Insurance is a scheme. They can't tell you shit again.
Yeah. They can't explain.
You make so much good points there, and that is kind of the reason. Like I just tell people, right? I love my people, right? But sometimes my people just be your own worst enemy. Your own worst enemy, right? You see, you talk about culture and tradition and thing, right? We as a people, as black people, we don't have that. And anytime you see anybody your surroundings trying to connect to that, it does always be demonized. Always. If you see somebody in an African way, there is always some kind of negative headspace.
I lived that for a few years.
No, in modern times, we kind of breaking out, and it kind of become a little bit more socially acceptable, right? But I used to always have a problem, right? They used to always say, for emancipation, for Diwali, you're always seeing people in East Indian way. That is great. But for emancipation, it does never see the same amount. Now in modern times, they're trying to get a little deeper. But still nowhere near. It's still nowhere near. And I, like I say, I like everybody, but I like to see my people progress as well too. And we ourselves don't have any culture like that to say that we have any connection to, because most of us, we can't say what part of Africa we come from. We just know it's a whole region, West Africa, right? West or Central Africa, right? But we can't say like I belong to this tribe, that place, that. East Indians, no, they have it, and I love that for them. And I really, it has saddened me that we don't have that. So in me doing this business studying here now, I just always try to, every time I deal with a person like myself, I will always try to give them a level of education, a level of knowledge, so that we as a people could move forward in the next generation.
Right. That's why I think nothing does happen by chance. Because when I asked Jared, I said, bro, I'm looking for somebody to do this topic. I reach out to Quincy China.
I'm not Quincy.
Right. Quincy saying, I'm going here, I'm coming back. Never reach. I said, all right. I asked Roger Bruman. I asked Nicole, which is my agent. She said, Karen, I would love to, but I'm afraid camera's bad. I said, all right, don't see. So I just leave it. We finish all the season by OUR radio. We come back home and thing, and we say, well, boy, we attack it again. And Gerard said, Karen, talk to this man. And he sent me a TikTok. So when I open the TikTok and I see, I ain't hear no thee and thou and thou. I say, well, all right. Then I start to say, but this man tying everything in nice. You know what I mean? And I think, to me, that is one of the problems we face in the industry as well.
Correct.
I remember when I went, the wealthiest person I ever see when I was an agent, it was the weirdest thing. So I touched on my suit. This is people we working, right? So, you know, sharp, shoes, tank, belt, da 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 da. When I reach in the man's office, the receptionist say, sir, Mr. So-and-so say, if you have to come inside, I don't want to take off your jacket and your tie. I say, all right. But I have tattoos. I say, I no sin. Take off my jacket, take off my tie, and I roll up my sleeve a little bit and I come inside. Here the man now. He say, yeah, we're going on better. The next time you come back here, come in a polo and a jeans. He said, do not come here in no suit. I just identify that as smart man thing.
Correct.
I say, well, boy, look back and all here because I never really like this suit thing. The woman and them like it. But brother, I get into work comfortable, you rather tell me that no more. So I go back and I tell my manager what happened. The man say, boy, yeah, but you know the company and the policy. I say, but Dan, look at this white house here. How you convincing me to put back on a suit? So go back out there. I'm not doing it.
So before I go any further, I want to touch on something that we're hearing. Some people that say Peter Garvey inside.
Right.
Chris inside.
Right.
Jamel, Jeresto. Ian, we know talking about Ian. Ian, we get here today. Well, shot by the anchor earlier.
Yeah, the man have a big plaque in the office.
Yeah, Sheldon Mendoza inside.
You
know, so we put the crime inside, right? The next thing that we tie into that too, I think that has helped sell that. We're still in this colonial mindset. I just tell people,
very much so.
Right through, the national anthem of Trinidad and Tobago is a lie. But when it comes to that, now, like, I work in B-Mobile. TSTT telling me I had to work in shirt and pants. But when I get the work, I ask, do I have to work in long sleeve? But me not find a long sleeve. I say no. But because of the coldness of the building, I want a 2 long sleeves. Yeah, they come to, you can't wear a tie, boy. I was like, no, when I ask, all the time, you know. And they start to get a set of promotional jerseys. So my stack in the wardrobe just growing and growing. I start to wear the jerseys to work. I go into work in a shirt Monday, Tuesday to Friday in a t-shirt in my cotton. You know, I don't like soft pants at all. You see this? Yeah, but that soft pants, I don't like it at all. And my jersey, my pants, and after about 3 weeks, the manager braced my arm. Andre, you know, that is not the uniform, right? I said, what do you mean? Them jerseys and them shirts is uniform. I said, no, we don't have a uniform. What do you mean? I said, well, a uniform is something you gave to me. So where? Well, they give me nothing. Well, they give me, I have about 30-something jerseys.
Yeah.
And I have about 7 shirts I buy. But then they can't. I said, well, here, listen, don't give me no more jerseys. Because they're taking up room. Bam! I done with that work, I leave and I go on. I just had to laugh. Right before I leave the city, they started to get them more.
The changey culture.
Polos and that kind of thing, right? Bear in mind, they say, oh, we're region against emotion. It's not necessarily that. I just find it didn't make sense in a tropical country. Yeah, with the building and thing cold, but the vibes there is push with the way you dress. I go to New York. On T-Mobile.
Polos.
Everyone in polo and chikota.
Long pants, yeah.
I said, look at these bitches that I'm in now, boy. Yeah. And that's why I tell them all of them things is hindrance because they say a wealthy man tell you that coming to do business thing in a suit, you feel is a smart man thing. Look at a wealthy man feeling that way, right? What the people that the majority of people you want to deal with feel how they feel about it?
Let me get a joke, right? I realize in dealing with people,
it's schooling.
Dealing with people have to be comfortable with you. Right? So sometimes if there's people see you as people like people who like them, right? Now, everywhere has, if it's based on these certain circumstances, you have to conform to the scenario, right? If it's an attorney, if it is to do certain things, that's fine, right? But in this business of insurance, so it is, like I tell people, it's a relationship building business, right? Because I just tell my clients, it's a relationship we build in here. As time goes by, we'll continue to grow, right? And if it is we building a relationship, yes, I go hard times it is go see me in suit and tie. But majority of the times if they come in and talk to you home, and I'm gonna come to you home in no shirt and pants and no tie and thing, I stop with a tie a long time. I go wear a suit. But like on a Monday when I'm in the office and you have a branch meeting and thing, I wear my little suit and thing, whatever. But you see if it is now again, you have to reach that certain level where it is you could justify getting a rated things,
of course,
right?
production, brother.
You can't want to be a level and you ain't doing what you're supposed to do. Right? But if this is doing what you have to do and you realize that all these things is part of your process, then most places they would
they can't fight you.
They can't fight you
at all.
What's some of the biggest challenges it is faced doing this as a young black man out here?
Where to start, the challenges that I would face, I would say, is mindset, buddy. Mindset. Because sometimes, so it happens in different ways you could approach this, right?
Right.
So if we're talking mindset on life, let's talk about the life insurance aspect first, right? A person, let me say a man married, right? He have a child, right? You have bills and things, you have mortgage, you have car, you have different things like that, right? People don't take into consideration the financial aspect of the loss that will occur if it is they were to pass away, right? Now, people can pass away for many different reasons. You could be going on the road, somebody hit you, you get in a car accident, you pass away, right? Or you get sick unexpectedly, you're gone.
You can get a warning, at least.
You could get a warning, at least. You get sick unexpectedly, you're gone. Or you're lying in some way, you pick up a stray, right? Or let me just say, it have many different reasons, right? So you now have to take into consideration that your mortality is finite, right? Your mortality is finite, and most of the time is women who does benefit from life insurance policies.
Right.
Right? Men will usually die sooner than women. That's the reality of it, right? So most of the time, as a man, you have to look at, all right, if something happened to me today, how my wife would not make out? People just say, but she go figure it out, right? If it is too early together here now, and they're catching on their tail to figure it out now on two salary, right?
When one gone,
how do you think she's gonna figure it out? Most of the times, your company not going and give your company, if it is, let me say for argument's sake, you have a company pension,
right?
The company would give you, and it depends on the company. They may give you 2 years. They may give the spouse 2 years of your salary. May depend on the argument situation, or they might just pay out whatever your balance you have in your company pension, and that is it.
Right.
So she know, and people that say, well, I have savings, I have bank account. If it is your wife is not a signatory on your bank account, the bank not going to give her access to things. She cannot go by teller and withdraw money on your account. So all your accounts gonna be frozen, your credit union gonna be frozen, your bank account's gonna be frozen, all these things. So most she could withdraw from his ATM card, provided that she know your PIN number. Right? Let me say she know your PIN number. There's only so much she could withdraw at a certain point in time. Right? And then on top of that now, if it is the bank find out that you gone, right, then going to lock it down. They will freeze it. So she now had to go through the whole process, probate and all these things. And that's of administration. And then things could take years. Right?
It does take years.
It does take years. So let me just say for argument's sake, it didn't take that long, but it still will take long. You still have your mortgage to pay. That if it is, let me say that dual income household, you paying some bills, she paying some bills, right? After she done pay she bills, you done pay your bills, or they have a little bit of discretionary income afterwards, right? that little bit of income that she have is not enough to take care of the bills that you was paying for. Let me see you was paying for your car. Let me see you was paying part of the mortgage. Let me say you split the mortgage half. She can't pay the mortgage by herself. Right? So then now you go say, well, she could find her next work. How she find the extra time to get her next work? That's the next thing. 2, that means that your lifestyle will have to decrease. So plenty things that you would be doing
that she become accustomed to.
That she become accustomed to. She got to stop.
Out,
She got to cut. So it goes from a place of living really fairly okay to living in a place of struggle and fear. Right? So you have to come now and degrade yourself and ask family for money, for help, for this one, for that one, for different things like that. Because at the end of the day, people just say they will help you, but it's how much they get help because them have them life to see about. Right? So you have a child now. So how your child looking to live now, right? And your child go and grow up now and say, Daddy never put nothing in place for me to study, for me to sort out. So we started to be at a struggle now, right? Now because of the situation, your wife now forced to find somebody else back to market at wherever age she is with her child, right? And the person that she had to choose now may not be the person that she really wants. It could be the person that who might be most financially able to see about it, So when you're in that position now, you will know what kind of headspace that man have. You understand?
Yeah.
So all of that simply because
you don't believe
you think
that
insurance is a
scam, right? And nobody mustn't benefit from me when I dead. I worth more dead than alive. So
and you know, I find that so that again.
But in that statement, right? You're supposed to feel that kind of way. You know what that is do for me?
It's a selfish statement, boy.
But
I talk about the proudness side, the pride side, knowing that I have that something my life is worth more to my family with me dead than me being here.
Nah, because you see, people don't want to accept the fact that them leaving things for other people to benefit from.
But you're the dead boy, we got some point in time.
You know, a big part of that too. A big part of that is the shit we see on TV.
Yeah, facts.
Remember, we see on TV, they take out a life insurance policy, especially them
lifetime movie and them.
Yo, and sit down and watch the lunchtime soap operas.
Yeah.
And is this one plotting against that one and thing?
Yeah.
Because they get that is recycling.
Yeah.
True.
And a big part of, not to cut you, a big part of not just the life insurance, but understanding the process now, the beneficiary, right? In estate, leaving things in your estate versus having a name beneficiary.
So let me talk that, right?
But
you're talking about leaving things in your estate, right? Unless it, and like I tell somebody the other day, unless it is your wife unless you leave a will, right? Anything we don't have trust in Trinidad. We don't. Okay. Because of the legal structure and whatever, we do have trust in Trinidad, right? Trust is essentially like a legal entity that they put things in. Most of the time, people don't have enough assets to pay in our trust to begin with. 2, the trust has to be expensive. And 3, based on the legalities of it, it's not available in Trinidad, right? So you don't really hear people saying they have trust in Trinidad, they have a will.
Right.
Most people, they don't have a will. So
because when they write over, they want it.
So when it is you do so now, and you happen to pass away, let me just say you have a life insurance policy. Well, and you leave your wife as a beneficiary, right? What I'm going to do is, in the event that when it is you pass, that money that she gain, that will be able to tide over to whenever the process of probate and everything finish, because everything will go to your estate, right? When that finish, everything else, all your assets will go to the estate until she go through the whole process, right? She will have some money in hand to see about certain things. And what our life insurance gonna do is not to say she's gonna be balling out on that money, That money is more or less just enough to maintain the current standard of living for a period of about 10, 20 years, if it is your insurance agent adequately sit down and work with you certain things. So it's not to say is she just gonna be buying Gucci and Louis and flying on trips.
Again, some of the shit we see on TV. You know, because we tied her into child support. Why does here the court mandating people to pay? We don't hear it here in Trinidad, or she only take any money and going and buy this and that. or in all the in rap songs and in videos and all the bacchanal we see from the American social media.
Yeah.
They're taking the money to
Do what kind of thing?
do buy Louis and all kind of thing. First things first.
Go and do your hair.
Like, if we know, if you know me, I don't believe in paying a white man that kind of money for your name.
I agree.
But if we know the cost of these quote-unquote authentic things with these white people names on it, right? You really think your $160 a fortnight or whatever contributing to that boy, like we a clutch this size, the size of our phone is $1,000 US. How you know, but here I realize we buy into a lot of things that we see on the TV.
Yeah, that's true.
Like the myth of, I shouldn't say myth, because we know it have it, but the negligent black father. I don't think there's a pandemic is in Trinidad and Tobago as much as it is in
definitely
in America.
It have it here.
Of course.
It have it here,
Of
but
course,
it's not
bad.
It's not
The
that
three of
bad.
us say no here, no at least one.
Yeah, one on
You
this man
understand? But it is nothing
compared to the US.
compared to what we hear and see from the US. It is nothing.
But you see too, the reason for that is we Trinidad too small to it, and we still have a certain level of social stigma from your family, from this one, from that one. Who, if this is a worthless man, you know you really want that stigma now. So plenty of people here wouldn't really go through that in that kind of way. Versus in the States, you could go in a whole other state and go away and things.
You never hear nothing. You know, so and I think a part of we myth when it comes to insurance and things, even though we see it on TV, all these insurance selling, I think that part of it too, because all they're selling and all they're cheaper. Like some kind of trick out. Because we from cable TV, for quite the flood, we is like is Geico, it's General.
But that is general insurance in terms of car, house, and motor. That different to life insurance.
Yeah.
The average man in the street
Don't know the difference.
not pausing to hear that.
True.
All he is insurance. And this is why we think it's important that we all, every now and again, we always have somebody like yourself here just to talk that now, because as you say, Karen says something there, like you wouldn't feel good knowing that
You have something.
not just dying over, when you're dead,
Your family could.
if you started off knowing what struggle is, and you reach a point in your life that you could put things in place that if in 5 years you decide you just cap out just so, as you say, going on your course and you're bad, you don't feel good as a man.
Knowing.
I feel comfortable. I is real comfortable. I drive,
your family,
fly, do everything, knowing that if anything happen, brother, wife is sort out. She know what to do. She know where to go and what to do.
Let me get an example, like a story, right? I have a
greetings, Akisha.
I know somebody, right? This man, he do plenty, he make good money and things throughout his lifetime, right? But he was never one to believe in having will and putting things in a wife's name and letting the wife know certain things. It has some men who don't want to get a wife involved in the finances, right?
Yeah, man.
So this man come and get a critical illness, right? Come and get Parkinson's. So if it doesn't know anything about Parkinson's, it's degenerative. So you just have it at that point, and then it does get progressively worse as the years go by, right? So you just reach that stage where you're dependent on other people to take care of you, right? He thought that he had enough money to see about certain things. It's only when it is like come and sit down and talk to him and show him this, talk to the wife, right? And the wife realized that, all right, after this amount of time, the money that we have done enough, right? And people just think, we went to the guy critical illness, I was dead, and think, no, sometimes they just live. Sometimes they just live, and sometimes they live long. And when it is you live, you just suffer because all the money that you had done, you have a house. Right now, they have apartments, but it's a situation where they don't have the funds to renovate it, to increase the rents. So that money is just barely enough, right? And you in a situation like that, when it is you live for so long, all your money is dry up, and you leave your family with nothing because you didn't believe in life insurance, you didn't believe in critical illness insurance, and you just believe that you would just whatever money you have will be enough, and I would just dead whenever. They don't work so, and that does take people back, because sometimes it does take the child now to take care of the parent, and all the money that the child was supposed to be using to see about different things for themselves.
But we doom ourselves for that circumstance, you know, as a people. When you really sit down and think about it, your mother gets sick, your father gets sick, is you have to see about
You
them.
got to see about them.
Because them men do nothing, them men put nothing in place. And what they might have thought that they put in place wasn't enough. You know, now, one of the things I want people to understand is that we ain't telling you that you have to take your whole salary and put it behind insurance, you know, but you have to also understand. You see that if boy, if this happen, if that happen, you know, we are joking is, car insured, umbrella, we are the house insured.
Nah, most people don't have house insurance.
Well, yeah, plenty of people don't have the house insured, right? Unless they get a mortgage and the bank tell them.
The bank tell them that they have to get.
Right. Other than that, you car insured, sure.
Because they have to.
Because I law.
Yeah.
You understand? Other than that, that is the only insurance, and people they still say that is fraud. Scam. But here, why telling your partner? Why sure about? You see when it bumps, I don't worry about nothing.
Yeah, the heights in that, right? People always talk about in car insurance is scam. If it is you driving on the road today and you bump somebody today, regardless of what car they have, 9 out of 10 times you don't have enough money available, liquid cash,
To fix.
to fix that man car.
Cool.
To fix their car, fix your car.
Yeah.
Right? And we ain't talking about, let me tell you, you ain't talking about you no big fancy car.
Nah,
Yeah,
it's
but-
a man to be 15
Le-
and you have to fix the bumper and
Boy.
the light and thing.
You have a Serato, you bump a Serato on the road.
Yeah.
Right? The bumper on a Serato is about $10,000.
Yeah.
Right? As the bumper alone. Let me just say your lights, you tell me from the back. How you fixing that? Where you getting money from to fix that? That's what insurance is for.
Correct.
You're paying a little bit of money to what is
The
it?
definition is a promise to pay.
It's a promise to pay in the event of I don't want to get too technical.
Yeah.
But essentially, what is you doing? You passing on the stress and headache to somebody else by paying a little bit of money every month, right? And that's essentially how it does pay with life insurance and thing too. You're paying a little bit of money because in 100% of the cases, the money that you paying in premium towards your life insurance or critical illness insurance will never equate to the death benefit, right? Or it will never equate to the amount of money that you get paying a critical illness payout. Because let me say you have a term policy. Term is the cheapest type of insurance you have.
Yeah.
Right? You have $1 million term, and you in your early 30s, you must be paying like about two something for that. Right? No way. Even if you want to say that $200 you spend that in Lyman on a Friday.
Normal. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
You can't even get a party ticket for that price now.
You ain't affect for that, right? No, man, you affect paying for $200.
Yeah,
right? So you paying that a month.
Yeah.
And you making sure your family sort of come on now, man.
Yeah. And that's what we do take into consideration.
We have a question here for him from Akisha Singer.
Hey.
Right? She just joined in. Does it have like a funeral benefit for the wife/husband to take care of such expense? This is usually an immediate expense.
Yeah. So the thing is with insurance, right? In most cases, once you have a life policy, you could take out a portion. Once there's let me take a step back. When it is somebody passes, right, and they have a life insurance policy, the process is you contact your agent or the company, you give them that certificate, right, and the company will now have to do the investigation to see what the circumstances that he passed and whatever the cases that. But in most cases, you will have a funeral benefit that you will be able to access before as part of the policy. So if it is, let me say, the payout is $1 million, the companies might vary based on their internal policies, but you would be able to receive a small portion to
like
see about $40,000 to see about funeral expenses, and the rest would be paid out afterwards. So yes.
Yeah. And then they have a different type of policy for that to call a family indemnity plan.
Correct.
Like CUNA. which is a smaller, it's very, very cheap.
It's very cheap, yeah.
There.
That pay not one time.
Credit unions, yeah. Plenty of credit unions is offer that. So once in a credit union, chances are you have that.
Yeah, but
they try to build it into
once you sign up for it.
Yeah, they try to build it into your monthly now.
Right. So
well,
Akisha say thanks. Mortel want to know what is the difference between a health surcharge and life insurance.
Well, you see, health surcharge is something that you. All right, let me break that down for you a little bit, right? Health surcharge is essentially a benefit that you get as a Trinidadian citizen, right? That is essentially what does pay for essentially the hospitals and all them things. So all them things is benefits that people does get. They're like paying taxes and things. They're just benefits that he does get, right? But you should never strategize or bank on that, right? That is something that you just for being basic, but you should never put your financial planning strategy in the hands of the government.
No way.
That is not their responsibility.
No way. No way. Yeah. Any more questions?
No, not yet.
So part of the show too is also helping you grow your business, right? You know, because we like to support supporters action with as Orisha Ashes always say. So tell the people how to reach you. Tell them about some of the offerings that you provide as a
FSCP.
FSCP. Wait, them acronyms getting longer and longer. Yeah, tell them because I know you're incorporated as well.
Yeah,
right. So tell them talk to them.
All right. So I'm an agent. I don't want to mention the company name, right? I'm an agent at one of the largest insurers in the Caribbean, right? Out of the two largest insurers in Trinidad, I bet the other one, right? The green one, right? That's it. You know, right? You can reach me on all social media platforms, but primarily I post on Instagram and TikTok, right? Primarily on TikTok, right? So my name there is the same on all platforms, Daron Jacobs Financial, right? They're supposed to target anything there, right? So I just post a lot of content on how you could really make insurance work for you, making money work for you. So there's post things about retirement planning, and there's post things about life insurance benefits, and there's post things about understanding and breaking down the different myths and the different misconceptions people would have. I would show examples how it is you can make these things work for yourself, not just you take out a policy and you know what the policy is for, but you have a life insurance policy and think it's a health insurance policy, right? So I just break it down in simple language, simple ways that you can understand, no star high maths, and that is where you can really see and reach out to me. So when it is we have a conversation now, it's a situation where you already come in with a lot of understanding from going through this stuff on my page.
Okay. All right. That sounds good.
So let's say over the handles again.
Daron Jacobs Financial. Daron Jacobs Financial.
All right. So we go
for my contact. Somebody reach for you directly with your contact.
No, you reach me on my phone to 7598359. That is my WhatsApp number. You can reach me there on WhatsApp, call me, message, anything like that. I'm a person that I just tell my clients I like to be accessible. So regardless of what if there's you any information, any questions, I'm thinking you can reach out to me. If there's a trying to book a meeting, once you go on my page, I will have a link there. You click the link and you can see what was your available times, what available to you, your book a time that's convenient to you. Most of the time it's virtual. So I like where people could book a time based on their convenience. So you see times I have available, they go on Zoom, you have a virtual meeting, we talk, and then from there we take it from there. And I just take my time with everybody who I sit down with. So I'm not going on. If it is you paying a $200 premium or you're paying a $20,000 premium, it's the same level of respect, the same level of care and due diligence I just take in making a recommendation for you. I don't treat people differently based on how much they can have, because the joke is, I have a client, one of my biggest clients, right? It's 2 youth men. Well, I say youth men, but they're around my age, right? They're younger than me, right? All of these youth men. So when I come to meet them the first time, come on, they have a business, right? Come and sit down home in the office and thing. When I sit down on the chair was shaking. I sit down on the end here, because I had 40% on properly. Right? But I sit down with them and I tell them, I say, bro, because I had an ex-agent before and they didn't really like how the agent deal with them. The agent kind of watch down to them now. But I see them as two black brothers. I say, you know what, let me deal with all the asset way.
Right.
So I deal with them. And over the years, we deal good. They keep sending people for my recommendations, they refer me because they like how I deal with them. And when it is their business pick up, they did a policy with me over about $50,000 a month. Right?
Man.
Not something like Iman. Right? So they did a policy that, and they up to today they always deal with me straight. They always recommend me because why? I deal with them and I didn't really judge them based on where they at that point in time now.
Meet them where they were. Now that's one of the things that I would advise anybody to, because you see, so many times people forget. Not because a man working CPEP now, me he go stay there, or working wherever, KFC go stay there. And remember people aspire to be better. But when people grow, you know now, I leave insurance more than 15 years now. And I still have people who I was dealing with then, who would get a little piece of money now and call and say, Karen, what you feel I should do, boy? And I go say, well, call this one, call that one, call the next one, because I ain't doing that, right? Now I am a barber brethren as a businessman, but I still know what direction to send people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was going to say something again.
Even though, based on the like the people workspace and the respect you get them now. So what are the people who CPEP is the most they could do?
I used to deal with you still the same way.
Right? Of course now we talk about based on what the idea we have of CPEP salary. Or let me say somebody working for minimum wage, we know what is minimum wage now, it take effect in January. We still had plans tailored that for people like that.
You see, persons in certain financial categories where it is the not able to really make monthly commitments and stuff, I would tell them, I would still direct them. Sometimes it's best for them to join a credit union. You start small, start to make it start, because if it is a I want to talk with you and I realize that you starting this policy would put you in a difficult place because you can't continue to maintain or make that commitment, I would tell you, bro, the best thing for you to do right now is to put your money in the credit union, pass a little bit of thing every month where you can afford, and at least when that time comes, you have something rather than you do nothing at all. So I just be real straight to people.
Good. Yeah, because I think a lot of people, especially in our community, believe that life insurance and these things are out of reach. You know what I mean? And they don't understand like term insurance. You know what term insurance I sell, boy? I don't understand why people is thing, but you see, and there's another part of the business that the agents in particular, they do take into consideration, because remember them studying commission. Right?
Yeah.
But if you see me as commission, don't come and talk to me.
Correct.
Because you're not considering my needs.
Correct.
You're not considering my situation, my real situation. And you're not sitting down to listen to me and really help me now. You know what I mean? Because it have plenty people that, you will go to, like you say, you're making a $2,500 a week or whatever. That might be too much. If you say $1,500 a week, $1,000 a week, based on your situation, and you feeling to yourself, but I can't save no money here, I can't do nothing here, but I'm concerned because I have a child. Right? And I don't want that anything happen and my child left
with nothing.
You know what I mean? So 100,000 term policy.
So watch out sometimes that them thing could work in your favor too, right? You see credit unions, you talk about credit unions. Most credit unions does have a group health plan.
Yes. And life.
And life. The life does be attached to the group health.
Right. Okay.
So when it is you go to a credit union now, if it is you can afford to take out a policy by yourself, you go to the credit union, you'll get a health plan. So that health plan now give you a little dental benefits. It'll give you eyesight, it'll give you doctor visits, and you go have a little health plan attached, a little life insurance attached to it. Right. It mightn't be that much, but you gain more than if it is you take out one by yourself with a company. So that is be our next option too.
And most times it is I think it's like about 75,000 if I'm not mistaken.
Life insurance?
It
depends. They could be between 75, 100,000 to 50. It depends on the brand.
Depending on what the company do.
Yeah.
You understand? So and that's why I say this conversation is important, because plenty of people don't know and in your ignorance, instead of asking a question, you don't know who to ask first of all.
Correct.
Because you will go to and ask a man, and a man might belittle you. So you feel, boy, let me stay away from that. Let me just continue living my life, and whatever happen. I'm gonna try and do as much as I could. You know, I might think I should be able to buy a little this or buy a little that. And you see, and I think that is where things like the DSS and all them get rich quick schemes does mash you up as a people, because we trying to get our leap forward now. You know what I mean? And for me, I tell myself, I know what my mother was capable of doing, and I see what my father did, right? And I am taking example from that and not repeating that. You understand? Because I tell myself, my children, I have 4 children, 3 boys, 1 girl. I know that I had to make sure that them in starting at 0, I did. You understand? And even while I'm alive, they mustn't have that pressure.
Correct.
You understand? Because even if anything happened to me now, I have a critical, I have a major medical with them people down the road, and so that I could go in any institution, swipe my card, and I have access now, right? And then that's separate and apart from the critical. So when I'm done with that now, my critical will kick in depending on which critical illness, if it is a critical illness.
You're saying critical illness. What is the critical illness? Because you understand it, but when people don't understand.
Yes. Critical illness is like major illnesses now, Alzheimer's, cancer, any form of cancer, the list kind of long.
So let me break it down for you, right? The reason why it is, as I said, people to have critical illness insurance, because at some point in time, everybody buy a barbecue, a curry
for somebody,
a fundraiser for somebody who need in aid of medical expenses, right? Critical illness insurance is so that when that happens, you don't need to go and do no fundraiser. You don't need to take away your dignity and asking people for help. To say about your medical expenses.
And no GoFundMe. And
no GoFundMe. And none of them can't think, because what it is you don't realize is because I don't have video the other day, what it is you break down the maths in terms of how much money, how much barbecue or curry you have to sell. Right? Because when it is you work on the maths, it's really not much money you're making enough. Right? Because if it is, let me say you have a medical expense. Somebody get diagnosed with critical illness and a medical expense of about let me say a 200,000 or 300,000. Right? And you say you're going to sell barbecue. You have to study about where you get any material from, the chicken.
The raw materials.
Right? It's if somebody donated to you, right? Like if somebody donate boxes, somebody donate this, somebody donate that, whatever the case is, right? Or let me say you have to pay for itself. So you have to come now, jump out some money, get that, and then hope you recoup all your money. Right? And then next thing to know, everybody might buy the barbecue ticket. And then how long you have to be selling for? You have to be selling for to hit your target.
Regular.
You have to be selling for, basically you set up a whole new side business.
trying to build money to build critical.
And the thing is, right, what people don't realize too, right? If it is it also is to build that amount of money in a short period of time, people will not be running that business all the time. All the time. You talk to people who have food business. How much money them really making on a monthly basis, and them selling food every single day. How much money them really making? How much profits them really going on with? So you figure you could come now. You're handling that good.
It's alright.
You're handling that good to say you sell
right? And then you ain't really have a location and all these different things.
That's what you have them kind of policies for. A little bit at 250, 300, 400 a month. That getting that kind of money.
And again, this is where you go back to the myth of the shit we hear. Because it's basically the shit we hear, you know. I listening to it, that's not that my mind is like, how do we get this into the primary schools, boy? How do we fit this into it, boy? Because barring us telling our children what we know already here, 20, 15, 16, 17 year old going out here. Life so fast and hard paced, fast paced and hard right now, they don't really have time to study that. That's one of the reasons I tell them at 17 years old, when you know come out of school, don't go and work. Ask your parents for them to go and do some kind of course or something or continue your education. Don't go and work. Because when you go and work at 17 years old,
it'll change your mind.
Oh, one time.
Change your perspective on life.
One time.
Don't go and.
From the time you taste that dust.
You not to go back.
You understand what I'm saying to
We
you?
go back.
Then you might end up in thing where you end up with a child or you decide you're big, you move out, you think, You know nothing to study with insurance and them kind of thing. So how you waiting we could do to get insurance as a life skill to be taught in schools, boy?
That's what that is. That's a life skill,
Yeah.
right? And sometimes they might do a life skills class in Form 5. Sometimes they might do a life skills class in university, right? If it is you go university, right? But that's really a life skill. But you see, to have a conversation in school, that's not the right place to have that because your mind's still young, right? Them is kind of things that your parents supposed to get that information.
Correct.
Your parents supposed to pass along that to you because basic budgeting information and basic things like this, your parents who does teaching them things, you know.
Yeah.
And most people who does hear about budgeting and personal finances, either the company where they work in had a little course where they offer, whether somebody had a little seminar and they come in and do it, or you have a little supervisor when you now start to work with supervisor telling you, hey, go and do this with your money, do that. Or you have a parent who telling you, do this, do that. So it's really not the children who really need to get that information, it's the parents, and the parents need to pass it on to the children.
But here is my thought on that based on immediately as you say that, right? We just admit that plenty of our parents and grandparents had no knowledge of this information. Right? There certain things the school system does teach you, whether you or your children to learn it or not. Right?
Let me pause it there. That's why doing social media.
Yeah.
Because
and
people
that's how you reach them.
Because people find everybody now on social media. If you're looking for something to learn now, you're going on social media to find it. You don't look for most of because most of the time the education that they're getting in school is guided.
Yes.
Right. If you want to get certain information, you could go online and you can find anything. Right. So that is why I kind of put in my stuff online so people could see it. So that is where the parent now would send some of my page to the child and be like, hey, watch that. Or the parent will be sending the videos to the child. Or at some point in time, it pop up on the For You feed. So that is how they're seeing it.
Right.
So that is, to me, in this generation, this time here now, that is how I am. I trying to get that information.
No problem with that.
Rosary actually, the last PTA meeting, they had our insurance agents. And I come inside and I hear this boring. I say, what is going on here? And my wife, boy, as I agent, they are talking there. And I listen to the man and I say, Dan, you're not trying to reach nobody, boy. What the man doing is peddling product.
Yeah.
You know, this life insurance, this life policy, just do this and this pension, just do that and thing.
But why you would have a thing?
Exactly. You understand? And I'm saying it is the correct place, but you're using the wrong
medium.
You understand? Because I mean, reality is, them is the guys people you have to talk to, because as parents, they have your children, and as we now say, 9 out of 10 we ain't know nothing about that.
Yeah.
You understand? We don't know nothing about that. My mother don't have no life insurance. Right? My father did not have life insurance. You dig? But what he do is he saved and he had the money in the credit union. So when the time come and he pass away and we do the letter of administration, everything went through. And I mean, some of me was able to do whatever and whatever. But he didn't just have that. He had the same FIP policy with CUNA. So from the time that happened, she called them. They say, yeah, ma'am, no problem. Only come in, whatever. Work with the death certificate. And bam, one time the money was in she account. Like the next day, the money was in she account. So she was able to pay for the funeral and the coffin and whatever, dress them up. And then when that done, everything else kicked in. Because he didn't really have no sort of debts or nothing. You know what I mean? But I think the conversation needs to continue to happen. Because in more ways than one, we still not see the handicap.
Here why you ain't go see it there, or the conversation. This conversation will always be a very much guarded conversation, right? Because nobody will come and say, boy, I get a $5 million from my father.
Especially the time we live in right now.
Nobody going and say, boy, you know, my father passed away and he leave a $2 million in life insurance, and I between me and my sister, right? Both of you was the beneficiary. I get $1 million, she get $1 million. Nobody not going to tell you that. Nobody not going to say that the money that them get from their parents, life insurance is what help them build a house. Is what help them renovate the house. Is what help them do this or do that or pay off certain bills. Nobody not going to talk that. Right? Because why? Because you know nobody pocket watching it. Because sometimes people hear you have money. Oh God, let me get something now. What you do from there? Thing. But I thought you was good. You know why?
Yeah, you know my virgin.
Yeah, sometimes it does be your own family too, right?
Not sometimes.
So that is kind of why you would always hear people talking the bad things about insurance, but they will never talk about the good things. They will never talk about, boy, this policy helped me do this for help me do this. But this policy, my father had a get cancer, and the insurance money would have to use to fly him out to see about his surgery and this and that and that. They would never hear them thing.
Yeah. Men ain't bragging about that.
No, men will never brag about that.
So that's an interesting position. What about pension? Talk to them.
So you see, people have had the term pension, right? And to me, the term pension is a wrong way to look at it. Look at retirement planning, right? Because retirement planning is more than just a pension policy, right? So I believe in retirement planning, and retirement planning is not just a pension policy. Retirement planning could be a whole different strategy or different things, right? So one of the policies that I like to use for retirement planning is what we call an endowment, right? An endowment is a life insurance policy, but it's the type of life insurance policy that you could benefit from while you're alive, right? So you don't need to die to get that money, right? And plenty of people like that policy just because of that. So, like if it is you, let me say you have this policy here, and you pass away, your family get any money as a life insurance policy again. But all the money that you would have contributed towards this policy, let's say the policy mature, would always be less than the final benefit that you get in. So I just look at it as an investment, right? So let me say you in your early 30s or whatever the cases, and you take a policy like this here. Let me say give or take, for simple maths, you use $1 million, right? And your premium is like, let me say, for simple maths, again, $1,000, right? By, let me say, in 12 years, so you breaking even in terms of the cash value, because the cash value in this policy does build as the policies go along. So the cash value will equal to your contributions to that point in time in like about 12 years. So in terms of value for money, you make back all your money. So if the policy stop at that point, you make back your money, you ain't lose no money. And from that point going forward now, the cash value will outweigh your premiums. So when the policy done, then you see you might pay like about $300,000-$400,000 in premium, but the final benefit is $1 million or whatever the case is, right? So in some cases, depending, you can make like about 2 times your money, 1.5, 1.6, 1.7 times your money. So you make back all your money plus growth on it, right? Now, what I just tell my clients, tell some of my clients, I just use that as a retirement planning strategy, because I personally believe that giving you the flexibility of choice will give you more options when it is ready to retire. And I believe one of the ways that you could control your retirement income is through rental properties, through real estate, right? So, and that in a way using that to create generational wealth when it is you go on the trend and have something, whatever the case is. So when, let's say you have a policy like that, right? And that policy maturing, like let me say in your mid-50s, that kind of thing, right? You're still working, right? But your retirement planning, this is a plan for your retirement before you finish work, right? So like all 5-10 years before you retire, you're supposed to start planning and putting your things in place. So when that policy that mature now and you get a little 500,000 or 600,000 or whatever the case is, you can come and take that money, put that on a down payment on a property, right? Build that property. That property now, once they say work out the maths, is a cash flow generating property, right? Cash flow positive property. So meaning that whatever rent you pay, whatever rent you're collecting is enough to see about the balance of the mortgage, and you have a little dust remaining. So when it is that policy, when it is that property done pay for now, you free and clear in your retirement. You have your company pension that you're getting. You have your rent from your property there, and regardless of whatever inflation is, you have the ability to raise your rents to suit the current market needs, right? So you able now to get a comfortable monthly pension every month, right? And you in control. Or if it is, let me just say, that same policy, when the policy mature, whatever outstanding debts you have, you can wipe it off. So you can pay off your mortgage, pay off whatever outstanding bills you have, right? see about your children education or whatever the case is.
Right.
So going into retirement now, you
liquid.
Yeah. You nothing not taken from you. Your money is yours to do what it is you want.
That there is the best explanation that I have ever heard about retirement planning. And this is coming from somebody who was in the...
You realize I ain't talk no high science,
yeah,
no big maths. I break it down to...
Yeah, well, you have me thinking here now because I done studying, like, I've had an extra thing I could chuck, so, you know, I feel like that endowment something like I play.
That writers do.
Yeah, that's something like that. Because I do like, and this is not, I'm not putting my opinion is not for all here. This is my opinion. Because I see this with my mother, right? My mother worked 25 years with her insurance company. When she retired, the pension was dog money.
Let me cut you there, right? I'm going to tell you I was doing a video before I come here, right? The video that I'm doing was on bank workers' pension. Right?
Oh, Lord, yeah.
Bank workers' pension. So let's say you're a bank worker, right? You start off, right? Now let's say it's a grade 4. Your salary is between, like we say, like about, give or take, 9,000 to like about 13,000. That's the range, right? And let me say you retire as a grade 6, right? That is between, give or take, like we say, like about 15 to 18,000 a month, right? Let me say like about 20, give or take, right? Let me say let me say 18. When it is you retire from a side, your last salary, your last salary, monthly salary is $18,000. When it is you work out the maths and I had the calculation, when it is you work out the maths and you retire, your pension, your monthly pension will be under about $8,000. So from 18,000 to 8,000, that's a $10,000 gone. How you living on that?
Yeah. And that is why I don't like it. But that's my personal thing because I just feel like because you know you invested my money and it's mutual funds and thing and it could perform and that was the excuse they The fund didn't perform.
Perform as well, yeah, because some couldn't perform, yeah. And sometimes end up with less.
She end up with way less. You understand? And I see that as I say, boy, I can't put myself through that. So you know I doing the opposite, which is where I was just talking about.
You have to fund your retirement.
I said, I looking at funding my retirement. I looking at paying rental property, whatever. Even if I don't get to do the rental property, and I just buy the land,
you had the money.
I had the money.
But you see, the thing is too, right? Plenty people does leave their own personal, their financial planning in the hands of other people, right? They don't take the responsibility of doing that for themselves. So they would leave that for the company that they're working for,
right?
Leave their own personal pension or whatever it is for that, and then when it is retire, it's like, all right, whatever them do, I get. You can't live so.
You can't do that.
So in relation to the pension, right? Or maybe they are tired. In relation to the pension, as being something that we've never heard anything different.
That's the thing.
What you would suggest off the top to the, of course, you know, they will be skeptical because you would want like me. In my situation in life right now, one of my biggest fear is reaching a certain age and still out there having to look for it. Biggest fear. And sometimes when you work there, I see people like, yo, what are you doing here still?
I don't trust.
You know? But so to go and tell a person with a fear like that, especially if they have been invested in the last 15 to 20 years in a pension fund. Because I don't know what people is watching news, and that's why I've been watching news again, man. The electricity company
the
retirees up in arms because it has some kind of back another pension. I mean, you work 33 years contributing to this. Oh, we could have a problem with your pension today. It's them and somebody else where they always have to be outside.
Placarding,
right? What you would suggest to somebody?
To supplement it.
Not just supplement it. Is it possible? So you've been contributing, now we say you have 17 years of contribution to your company's pension fund. Is it possible to take that money as is and invest it somewhere?
If it is you surrender your company pension, you will get taxed 25% of the total amount from EIR, right? Because it's a registered pension. So registered pensions, every year, if it is you have a company pension, even if a personal pension, you could claim 25% of your taxes. 25% of the total amount, total premiums that they pay in tax return, right? That is one. If it's a company pension, and you decide to surrender the company pension, they would just tax it 25%, and you could take that money and do what it is you want to do with it.
Based on that amount, is that something you suggest to people?
It's on a case by case basis. Because you see you're saying that there's a broad statement that everybody's situation will be different, because sometimes it's based on your age, the amount of time you have available, where you are in life, what you're doing right now, or plenty of variables that you need to take into consideration. So a young person, the recommendations I would give would be different to an older person. And sometimes if there's a mortgage, your children, this, that, situation different, so it depends. That's where when we have a conversation and we have a meeting, I could really sit down. Yeah.
Because I remember years ago going for taking a loan, not understanding anything at all about interest rates. So they gave me a loan, but I didn't. I wanted this amount of money. Them find that too small to them. So then give me this amount. So they give me double in cash what I wanted in my hand.
And they put
the rest. And I think it's an insult to, I can only talk for us other people. I think it's an insult to black people, to African people. The things that the interest that they would have put it on, and the interest it give you over that time. Bear in mind that it had a other plan that they could have put it on that the interest would be a little more. When I asked why they didn't put it on, and nobody can answer. Right? And then reached to the point of liquidating because I'm trying to refinance. Well, again, I run around. My situation ain't changed. I'm still working with the same company I was working with at the initial loan. I ain't missing no payments or nothing. But they tell me I can refinance. No, I hear it. Based on how we just take loans from the bank, because I hear somebody say they just treat their savings like a loan. The money that is put in, they treat it as if they're paying back something. So you have to now. Is there anything you recommend? I mean, I know it's based on a consultation basis, but along that line, you ain't necessarily want to go in the bank and take out money, but you want to do something a little different with your money.
That kind of hard to get a broad statement on, but because again, that is really everybody's situation different. So I have to really sit down with you and understand your situation, and then I can make a recommendation. And you see too, sometimes it's based on what it is you want to do with the money too. So it's hard for me to get a response to that when
you don't know.
They don't know. That is
well, they go a little finer then.
Right.
So a parent die and leave, you get $30,000.
Right.
They want to invest that, they can come to you.
Us?
Invest that to do what?
Yes, of course. That one not going to do. Yes, of course, I go hard. We want to do question and thing, but initially, all I get to take grand.
What to do?
In the grand scheme of things, 30 grand is not no money, you know.
Well, as I tell Karen, in the grand scheme of things, we talk from our position of privilege.
You see,
you come down to what we just call the ghetto,
right?
Youth man, by the grace of something, you go against all the grade we're talking about.
Right.
And a parent or a grandparent leave her $30,000.
Right.
I mean,
here, what I would say is the best investment. If this is at $30,000, right? $30,000, the best thing you could invest in, and the first thing you should be investing is in yourself.
Right.
First and foremost thing you should be invested in. You should take that money and not try to invest it in a product that will grow money for you, but invest it in educating yourself, in knowledge, in increasing your value to the market, so that your income earning potential will be higher. That is what I would say you invest that money. So if there's, you say a grandparent or whoever leave that money for them, that money should go into that child's education, because the returns on that will be exponential,
right?
As opposed to you trying to take that money, put that in a vehicle, because like I say, in order for money to grow, you need time, and if it is you don't have time, then the money ain't growing. So that's why I would say would be the best investment in that. Go and send them to go and do, if it is they go and do a trade, they go and do a course, they go and do something.
Yeah.
If it is they're doing a trade, they invest in some tools, some better tools. Like I said, I was an engineer before, electrical engineer, right? But I start off in secondary school doing trade. I do electrical in secondary school, right? And the first thing I started doing when I started work, tools.
One time.
I started buy good tools. If it's an electrician and I know about tools, I started buy Klein pliers. You know things.
And a man pull out a yellow and black.
Klein Greenlee. Right?
Yeah.
I started buy a good Greenlee meter. Right? I buy good Klein pliers, good Klein screwdrivers. Right? I buy a good drill, a healthy drill. Right? So them is the things you invest, because when you do that now, you're able to come now and get better work, you're able to come and do different things.
You become more efficient.
You become more efficient and you become more marketable too. So a man come in and see, and then to when did you come and do a work for a client, and then see you doing work and you work looking nice and you're clean and this and that, them recommend you to other people so you make back your money there. Two clients, you make back your money.
That's a very good answer. Because plenty people will get out of the house and say, boy, I feel like I'm going to put that in UC or I'm going to put it here. But the reality is, point something of a percent every year. I don't know money.
I don't know money.
You know what I mean? Versus, as you say, buying tools and upskilling yourself. And I could, if birds, I could, 30,000, because I'm a business owner.
Right.
I could invest that. If I put that in this business here.
That's plenty. That's doing plenty for you.
Come on.
I know for sure.
Yeah, you want all.
So say God.
You want all.
Yeah. You know, but our next thing too, boy, is like, so you have to have so much money to invest. That's why I would like to ideally reach the youth at a certain age.
Right.
Where I tell them, don't go and work. Time to educate yourself.
Right.
I personally is not one of them who big on the forcing training to academics. Right? Me and Karen, and somebody was talking inside here last week. Now we are the import trade people.
Madness.
Trinidad.
You think import trade people now?
But that's what they're doing. Because they don't want to pay the ones that here.
Not just that. How much people you know in your who went to school with you, or especially those right after that, they were pushed to do trade because I very see where they ain't academically inclined or you like the trade. We don't get encouragement in that. The encouragement is to go and get your passes.
No, he had a joke, right? He had a joke, right? And I was talking this with somebody the other day, right? I said, and she that when I was doing electrical, right? You just think trade people don't make plenty money, right?
Who does think that?
Just now. People who don't know. Just see trade people in overalls and thinking they're making no money, right? So my personal story, when I was doing electrical and thing, right? Push myself where I was working in Relief at the point in time, right? I went MIC. Right. So I went back to senior camp, right? I do the electrical and while I'm in secondary school, I do the industrial electrical after. And then I went MIC, do the journeyman program and the placement in Unilever, right? Work my way up and thing like I end up to A-class technician, right? Then I leave there and I went to the next company doing marine electrical, right? So the salary that I was getting paid at the point in time was 13,375, right? Now in my head, I live in home and I think say 23.
You're wet.
I wet. I real bad, right? But I think in my head that's not really plenty money, right? And because you know what, you see people who work in office and nice suit and things thinking they're making real money. There's only to find out afterwards that was a dread salary.
Yeah, brother. Because I double office and make
the majority of people in Trinidad not even working for half.
That's today. And that was in 2013.
Wow.
Right? 2013 I'm making that kind of money. So it's like to me it's like, alright, I wanted more for myself now, right? So going back to it, like I always believe in, you see, educating yourself. You really don't have no limit in terms of your own potential with that, because I only reached that far because I continue doing short course, doing this, doing that, and trying to develop myself and trying to be better than what I was before. So all the money that I get is either invested into tools. I ride bike. It's motorbike, right?
Oh.
So plenty of money to spend in
Yeah,
bike. But thankfully, I get a little more financially responsible now. So.
Right. Yeah. And your risk rating go up.
Yeah,
You continue riding them bikes.
Greetings, Hayden.
Yeah. So usually we just go for 2 hours, right? But I don't want to overstretch the conversation at the same time because I think you deliver. Brother, I can't ask on nothing else based on what you give me so far. I want to empower everybody who is listening and watching to also reach out to you. I'll put your handles in the when it go up on YouTube because I put in the beginning and thing and I put it up on YouTube. But in the description I will put your handles and things so people could reach out and find you. I mean I ain't gonna put your number. Let them go through the regular thing and they will get on to you, right? But I really want to say thanks, bro, because I can't emphasize the importance of this particular conversation. It's something we talk about in the shop all the time. And when I realize, you know, when it really hit me, boy, my son come a day, this one which man here come and tell me, it's all like you, eh? Come he say, boy, say daddy, you know, I went and signed up for something today. I say, what you sign up for? He said, I take an insurance policy from the bank. I say, what? All right, who you would think anything you tell me, the company name and thing. And then I was like, well, I never really sit down and talk to this man. Yeah. You know what I mean? About it now. Yeah. But because he are wrong, he hearing the conversation. So when they came, he already knew what he was about. You understand? So he don't know. And then he went, it's hard for me to admit this now, but the school he went to, drive that now. Fatima. You know what I mean? So now that he on the outside and he went St. Anthony's too, then he went Huey. And it's like the environment was, the soil now was rich for him to be able to plant and do and understand his responsibility to self because he had no children yet, he's 23. You understand? And at 23 I had him already. I was 19 when I had him. You know, so I done 5. He was 5 when I was 23. You know, I didn't have no insurance. I didn't have nothing at that point in time. I was working in insurance, as a matter of fact, when he was born and all of that. But the thing is, I think it's something that it needs to become a household conversation.
I agree.
You understand? Where we sit down with children and we talk, buy certain games like Cash Flow Quadrant for your children to play.
Cash Flow Club.
Yeah, all them things. They're changing their mind now.
Yeah, it is Cash Flow Club.
Cash Flow Club, right?
Yeah.
You buy that and you play them games with your children, Monopoly, get them to understand the importance of investment, in not in just money investment, but capital investment in terms of property and these kind of things. And also understanding the conversation of estate planning. You know what I mean? Plenty of people don't know there are ways around the system in terms of administration. So like that whole depth thing with the letters of administration, brother, whoever you think you want to leave your property to, go and put a name on the deed.
Yeah.
Go and put a name on the deed.
Or create a will.
Create a will. Because that just cut out that clean.
Yeah.
So you had the will, you take that and you go straight to town and country or whoever, and you carry the deed, you work with your lawyer and you say, right, I want to transfer my name to thing. That done.
Easy process.
Easy process versus not doing that. You know how much properties you have in Brata right here?
Just
that
tied up.
You can't do nothing with it.
Because, and it's mostly black people, when you really hear the talk and they say, well, who own that property? But Williams and this one and that one and thing.
This one in the States and that one there and that.
This one going because they don't want to sell it. I
always say that I feel my grandfather definitely had to be one of the wisest men I ever come across on this realm because he had to bury his father. Bear in mind, my grandfather born 1914. He had to bury his father and he had to take a loan from the Trinidad government railway to bury his father. And he promised himself after he done pay that, nobody have to spend a cent to bury him. And so said, so done. He had the thing set up as he passed my aunt went and thing. Nobody could say they had a support out. They had money for the wake, for the funeral, and here it had money remain. You understand?
Yeah.
He had a will. No mind that people try to contest the will. But they couldn't really contest it because he had a written will that I have a cousin that tried to get me to sign something else. Even though I was 19 and didn't know nothing about them things, something I don't know I could say my Ori. Ori tell my boy, don't sign that. He come a day when Grandpa down flat in bed. Oh, we are mountain something before Grandpa passed. He come, make it look real nice. Came and shave his next grandson from here, that child. Came and shave, Grandpa flat in. Oh God, Grandpa happy again to see my next grandchild. I will see him often. But I live with Grandpa. Bam, he come and tell Mom, I want to sign this. Grandpa do over a will thing. I don't know what it is because at that time I didn't know anything about them thing. And I leave and I walk to my aunt's house high up in Bataya. And there's how them can come and talk to me today when I look back and study that. My grandfather flat in bed. He in his right mind, but he physically couldn't. When I come back, I'm going on Grandpa there alone. Today when I study that, boy, that youth man can't see me. I haven't seen him. I think I've probably seen him twice since the funeral, since 1998. He can't talk to me today. But Grandpa put everything in will. So one time now for money to dispose with by the lawyer, I never forget that. Most African name I'd heard at the time.
Wow.
It was when it had the Detour Mall. It was the Detour. What it had there before Detour built over this whole thing there. Had one of them things you could have drive through. It had businesses that walk through. It had built on
Golanders.
Nah, high up, St. Patrick and Henry. But Detour wasn't the whole thing. It was Detours on the outside and it had you could have walked through and you could have go upstairs and things. So the office was out there. And I remember being in the office with my mother and father to collect checks. And the same cousin, sister on the phone, but though they want to
contest.
They want to contest, so don't distribute things. Bearing in mind I done toting, cause I am sentimental. My grandfather was given a clock by PTSD. In commemoration of the last train. Because Grandpa used to work when I was training, he was a sign painter. But he had specifically said that is for his great grandson, which is the kid who was calling, she didn't too long have a baby. And but all that time I understood if Grandpa say that is so I already had that mindset. I will never fight for his number, but I was told because it's something I could have seen myself hung up in my house now. I'm on the phone. And the ignorant part of me, I watching my mother and my aunt, everyone like, I said, them envelopes and them, that we check? Well, give me my check, eh? I go on. But all of that because nothing came out of it because why? He had a will. And it's something that I keep in mind. I'm asking this question before you go. You need to have a whole set of assets to have a will?
No. All the will doing, all your estate. So when it is your pass, everything that you own is going to your estate. Your bank accounts, your credit union, your car, whatever property you own, all them things. All you will saying is giving instructions when it is your pass.
What to do with what?
What to do with what. That is all. You don't have to have a whole big set of thing. It's just so that whatever it is you have in the bank account, your wife could get it, your children could get it, whatever. And if not, it will be tied up there.
Because we just assume to in plenty situations because we're single parents and we might only have one child. That automatically that's going to happen. Every child is
and a will not expensive too.
Nah, that is $1,200 max, I think. I will call and say it's nothing big. You know what I mean? But that's an investment in making sure that when you go, your family not left in turmoil. I don't think we just put enough value on that.
That I learned that too. About that.
You know what I mean?
Motel say, Kings, I rather send children to learn trade, however maths and reading is necessary.
All trade are maths and science. Of course. People don't realize trade is not just trade is science involved in trade, but is application of the science.
Yeah, because even in my little space here, plenty time we doing thing, and I just be like, wait, boy, if I didn't know better, my problems, you know,
Yo,
mixing dye and all them kind of thing. I don't know.
so I don't tell you, something my grandfather used to say, all are we is artists, all are we good at science and all them different things. You watch a man building the wall, be like, and mixing the cement. There's this morning what we talking about that like, no, we know it has some people to mix cement and thing by them. Yeah, it depends on what you're going to build.
That's a science.
You have to be able to tell them exactly how much cement you're going to use based on a scale and water and thing.
Yeah.
But I grew up, I never see my stepfather do that. Nothing ever will ever fall down.
Yeah.
Instead of a water tank that is about 30 something years old, a water tank, concrete water tank. Right? Built just like a above ground pool, like the best way I could describe it. Still working today.
Oh.
The inside of that is the sweetest plaster I ever seen in my life. Still in operation today.
And no penetrating and coming out.
No. Right, but all these things, I might tell you when I went to do a degree in health and safety. I don't like maths at all. Boy, second day of them telling you they're breaking down the module and thing, and they're not maths. I'm like, why need maths for? I like a real part of the class, like for
maths,
4 years, like maths. Nah,
you had to calculate how that wall going and fall, weight going and fall, all them things.
Nah. So yeah, it's a part of it. But as I say, I think that is something we definitely have to, with children, and even not just with children, but the young adults that we would have around us. Each of us, no matter what we're doing, are young people that we could talk to.
Correct.
Right? We have to encourage them now back into the trades. Right? We're watching it on, if you just listen to certain things from American media, it's a pandemic in the black community where they're lacking trade people now. Why? But in them own, they moved the trades out of the school. We didn't go so drastic. We was just, the trades on them was still there, but we was forcing the children
to do academics.
Focus on academics. Not everybody is academically involved.
Yeah, I agree.
You understand? So it's something that is real implore our people. We need a pipe boss. We need somebody to come and see about it. A light flicker kind of like something sparks. You need somebody to do that now, you know. So let we don't run too far from it. And only let we look into this insurance thing, but bigger, much bigger and wider than we were taught growing up. And it could never be as simple and take it from somebody. We're in 2024. So if I say just last year was 2 years before last year, I was going for insurance. I could get selling insurance. No, you can get my no, I have no time for that. I tell friends that. And I was amongst people in discussion talking about IRS, but I don't know nothing about it at the time. You know, some of the things we hear today, like that endowment is something I want to hear a little bit.
You have to come back and see me.
You understand? You know, so all you know how it's finished. Thank you for coming. As I say, we will put the contacts there. You just another person will be adding to what we want to call the black table. You know, where we want to build that community of black professionals that will be accessible to people. So we go ahead, build the people who doing the service, and we'll also be providing a good service, a reputable service to our people. So more life and good health.
Remember, and prosperity.
Remember, love and support is action words. Understand? Don't tell me you like the Nubian experience, you like the African thing, but you never buy shit. That is not support. Right? Or be safe or whatever go is carnival. We can't stress enough to not drink and drive. We can't stress enough to not let somebody who drunk drive you. We can't stress enough if you're tired, don't drive.
Pull aside and sleep.
Right? So let be safe out there, enjoy the carnival,
Mm-hmm.
and we will meet up again soon.
Yes, sir. We out.
Yeah.
Boy.
Much thanks, King. Right? So we will link again.
You don't know, right?